So welcome to the channel, where the question is, are you fast enough? We got a topic. This is going to be real interesting, I promise. We're going to talk about ChatGPT and how to use it for your build recipe. And I'm kind of astonished by this because initially, I'm kind of not a fan of anything AI. And I had a buddy turn me on to ChatGPT. And he's like, Bill, you really ought to check this out. It's pretty cool. And I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. I'm not doing this AI bullshit. And I got bored a couple weeks ago, so I said, okay, let's take a quick peek at it. Maybe I'll learn something. Well, I gotta tell you, I think I'm becoming a fan of ChatGPT because it says a lot of things I like to hear. So as most of you know, I've been planning this NA build for my Mustang for quite a while, and I've been acquiring parts for the better half of a year now, and I'm real close to assembling everything. I got a Texac aluminum block that is ready to go, and I've got pistons that'll be here in about a week. Cams will be here in about a week. I've got a brand new crank. I get the pistons. I've got the new rods already. We'll talk about that in a minute. What we're going to do is when I get everything together, I'll have that rotating assembly balanced because I'm going to be spending some high RPMs, and I don't want to grenade this motor before I have any fun with it. So I've been asking ChatGPT all kinds of questions, thinking I'm going to stump it. It's been truly helpful in furthering my build recipe. I mean, I had already acquired the cams before I started this. I'd already acquired my heads before I started this. I bought a set of heads off a small guy. A guy does heads in his garage. His name is Steve Gibson. My heads flow 218 at 600, and the guy machined the heads in his garage. He's got all the equipment. He float benched them. I drove to Evansville, Indiana to pick them up because, shit, I'm on a budget, man. I can't afford to spend $3,000 on a set of trick flow heads all ready to go. So I got these heads from Steve, $1,000 with brand new trick flow springs, 75 pounds on the seat, and 175 pounds at 585 lift. So as far as I'm concerned, I've seen the heads and I picked them up. I've seen the numbers, and I love the way the guy did the work. So I took a chance, and I'm glad I did. After going there and meeting and talking with the guy, he's stand up. He's just one of us, backyard, dirty knuckle type of guy. My kind of people. So we got these heads that are going to get a kind of a healthy cam from Modular Head Shop. And the reason I chose Modular Head Shop, They take the guesswork out of degreeing the cams. The modular world is really different insofar as it's not a push rod motor. It's got these big long timing chains. I mean, this is all strange to me, man. I'm old school. So now with these overhead cams, this is all new to me. So. With this 4.6, it's fresh. If I mess up, I mess up. I'm going to hook or crook. I'm going to either get it right or I'm going to get it wrong. But by all means, I'm going to do it. I bought myself some micrometers, screw plastic gauge. I don't believe in it. We're going to mic every journal, every bearing, every clearance is going to be triple checked. I have a goal. I want to be able to go 400 horsepower NA to the wheels. May not get there. It's kind of hard to get there on 281 cubic inches. That's what a modular 4.6 2-valve motor is. It's 281 cubic inches. And, 218 CFM, which is a big number for a stock 2-valve head. Put it in perspective for you. LS heads on a 5.3 are flowing like 280 out of the box. I mean, from the factory. So you see what I'm up against there, trying to build a decent running 2-valve. It's difficult. No one does it because it's difficult. Maybe I'm a little bit stupid. I will not ever swap an LS into a Ford. As far as I'm concerned, that's sacrilege. I'm not putting the guys down that do. God love you. Not my thing. Do I respect them? Sure. You're going fast. I'm not doing it. Doesn't mean you can't. But when you see me in that little black Mustang, you know it's going to be a modular 2-valve 4.6, period. It's what it's going to be. It's what the car came with. It's what it's going to have. So now that you have a little bit of that background, let's get into the meat of what this podcast is truly about, and that's using ChatGPT to confirm some numbers, to look at some important numbers like static compression ratios, maybe even some dynamic compression ratios, because, I figured I'd be roughly 12 to 1. I might be a little short of that, actually, because I had custom pistons made with a minus 3 cc chambers, so I might be 11.8. Depends on what gasket I use. But that brings into another point, and that's the dynamic compression. And I might be able to throw 6 pounds of boost at that, and do it safely. But it's going to have to be on E. But you'll see all this conversation in the ChatGPT. And I wanted to demonstrate that with you and why I have that faith in ChatGPT, because it's hard to argue with the logic source that it's bringing back, because at its essence, it goes out and it finds all these sources of data, and it's able to make the analysis for you, and it provides the answers that are fairly damn accurate. Except don't let it use HP tuners to help you tune your hot rod, because I never thought I would run out of injector duty cycle on a stock 4.6, but damn, this last revision I made to my tune, man, oh boy, we're lean, almost dangerously lean, and I'm out of duty on a 19-pound injector on a stock 4.6, let me tell you, but it's a whole different animal. I can't leave it that way because I'll hurt it, and I don't want to hurt it, because I'll probably be able to sell it down the road, and hopefully we'll be able to put a better tranny in the Mustang, just a little more insurance for it. We'll be doing this in stages anyways, and this podcast will probably have another aspect down the road, and that would be ChatGPT helping you tune your builds as well. For me, this was just a trial to see if it was plausible, and we got real aggressive with the tune with the HP Tuners software, and through the ChatGPT, I was able to learn not only how to analyze the data, but also learn what the fuel trims are, what they mean, the adjustments on the tables, and what they equate to, and so on and so forth. So if anything else, man, it's a great learning tutor to teach you this shit as you're going forward, that maybe you can learn a little something too, and not rely on sitting in a boring classroom. I mean, I'm a kind of a hands-on type of guy. I kind of got to do it to learn it, because these books, man, they just bore me to death, and my intention has gone like this. But if I'm actually trying to figure this out on my own, it's like getting lost, man. Once I get lost, I learn my way home. I know it forever. And that's how it sticks in my head. At least that's how my head works. Okay, so what I've done is I've asked it to give me an estimate of horsepower based on a new engine build that I'm working on, that I have an aluminum Texas block with a cast 4.6 crank, Boss 302 connecting rods, PI heads that have been ported and polished, 218 flow on the intake, 194 on the exhaust at 600. My cams are 236, 238 at 50, and 575 lift with a 110, 113 center line. And I'll be using a Vic Junior intake with a elbow and 102 millimeter throttle body. Now I'm getting a lot of shit about that from people, but I'm okay with it. Everybody's saying, no, you're too big. You're just too big. And I don't think that's quite the case yet. And you'll see why in a minute when you see what ChatGPT has to say about it, and why I trust what ChatGPT had to say about it. Anyways, I also have a 12-pound aluminum flywheel, an ATI damper. The heads have they have the trick flow beehive springs, 75 pounds on the seat and 175 pounds at 585 lift. Trimic 3650 at 373 gears. My car is on a diet. When it comes out, it'll be about 3,100 pounds. So this information is valid because it's giving me estimates of performance, quarter mile wise, gear drop ratios for shifts and whatnot. And, it's been pretty accurate as far as the ET estimates when I had it to the track in stock form before I leaned it out and turned it into a raped ape. And it explains why the increase over the last estimate, the long tube headers and X-pipe, improved the scavenging, especially over 5K RPM at 10 to 15 horsepower power gain over the shorties. And the dumps cut the back pressure, which helps with reducing weight as well. And your build is now fully optimized for high RPM breathing. Well, when I bought the cams from Modular Head Shop, they told me that shift points are going to be about 74 to 7,800 RPM, depending on my intake and my throttle body. So it's a modular motor, and it is an overhead cam. So doing my research, I feel comfortable shifting it at 7,800 RPM. But anyways, it has a performance outlook, and it gives me a power to weight ratio of about 6 to 8 pounds per wheel horsepower. Gives me a quarter mile potential of 11.6 to 11.9 at 115 to 119. And that's on slicks or with a good drag radial. So anyways, now ChatGPT wants to know if I would like a visual dyno curve to estimate the torque power peak across the RPM range, which no, I really don't want that because it's the free version of ChatGPT, and you can talk it to death, which I've done several times already. So now here's the fun part. So I know that, I've been looking at, throwing, 200, maybe 250 worth of nitrous to it. So I also know that what I just told it, I forgot to tell it that I also have 52-pound injectors. See, I've done this all before, and I'm trying to remember everything I've already discussed with it. I'm upgrading to a returnless fuel system, and I'm going to modify the fuel hat myself because everybody wants $1,000 for a return system for these new edges. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, that's flipping ridiculous. So I'll take the top hat off the fuel tank, and I'll weld a bung on it, a 4AN bung, and there's my return off my fuel regulator. And you know, I don't know if you guys know about Evil Energy, but man, those PTFE lines and fittings, they're not exactly cheap, but man, they're a heck of a lot cheaper than any other option out there, and I like the look of them. So we'll be using all their fittings, and we're going to put a 415 liter per hour fuel pump in it to deliver all of our fuel. So we'll have that going as well on this build. So ChatGPT is going to understand all this. So when I ask it about nitrous and about controlling the nitrous and about ECUs, you know, because this may end up taking another part as well. Hopefully you'll be interested enough to and like it enough to give it a like and subscribe, and maybe come back and see some more of what we're doing. But I'm also going to have we're going to start, you know, I'll start filming the build when Nick and I, Nick is my son-in-law, and well, he's not quite my son-in-law yet, but he's going to be, and that makes me very happy. Made me happy enough to, well, I'm actually trying to force the marriage. I went out and I did this. I became an ordained minister. I'll marry my daughter off because I like this guy, you know. I won't ever tell him that, you know, he's the dude. But if he thinks I like him, you know, it might screw that up for me. So anyways, we're going to, you know, everything's going to be done in his garage because it's just more convenient. And since he's gung-ho and young and strong, I make him do all the major lifting. But I want him to come along for the ride, you know. He's a good guy, and we're going to do this together. And we'll you know, bounce ideas off one another. I respect his opinions. The kid is brilliant, and you know, he's you know, I like working with him. You know, he's right there with you know, his greasy hands, my type of people, you know. So anyways, we're going to see what she says here real quick, and with the updated summary and the injectors, it says that we can safely support up to 650 crank on E85. And that brings me to, like I said, you know, previously I had ChatGPT run the static versus the dynamic compression ratio. And according to ChatGPT, my dynamic compression is roughly 8.4 to 1. And, you know, I ironed out, I think we can get away with maybe 6 pounds of boost. I don't know. I might throw a turbo on this and throw 6 pounds of boost at it, which will put me right about 600 wheel horse. And it would be a little bit softer than a 200 shot of nitrous. So I don't know how I'm going to do this yet. So if you guys have an opinion, let me know. You know, I'm always willing to listen to a better idea. But anyways, like I said before, thanks for watching, listening. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see some more, please subscribe, pass it along. We're just gonna muck our way through this, man, and hopefully we do something right, something you like. If not, we're still gonna do it, you know. This is what we're doing now. And but anyways, have a good day. We'll see you a day or two, 3, a week maybe, I don't know. But we'll put another video out real soon.